That day, Nerv's high-profile personnel gathered to witness the reactivation of Rei's EVA unit. A very important day, as the angels are coming back on droves, and Nerv only had Unit 1 to respond. Tensions were high as the last time they tried to activate the EVA unit, it went berserk, causing several damages and sent Rei to the hospital. Suddenly, on the horizon of Tokyo 3, a geometrical figure appeared, floating its way to Nerv's headquarters. Its name? Ramiel, the Thunder of God. In the apocryphal book of Enoch, Ramiel is both a fallen watcher and an angel. On this book, out of the 20 leaders, Ramiel is mentioned as the sixth one, which is a reference to Rebuild's designation number. However, in Neon Genesis Evangelion, Ramiel's designation number is the fifth one. It is also mentioned to be the Angel of Hope. Ramiel has become a fan favorite, probably as popular as Achiel, the third angel, or fourth one in Rebuild. All you need to do is making a quick search on Amazon and you will find dozens of items with his image. Not only that, but a few days ago I made a poll asking my viewers to choose their favorite angel, in which I included Kaoru as Tabriz. He's still an angel, remember? However, I did not include Ramiel as an option, and oh boy, its fanbase let me have it. Then I did a runoff against Space Jesus himself, and Kaoru fans still dominate, but not for much. I already made a Kaoru video months ago, and I mentioned Sakiel in almost all of my Evangelion videos, and features on 2 of my thumbnails. Thus, I took a look at Ramiel and decided to make a whole video on this angel. I will discuss both representations, in Neon Genesis Evangelion and the new theatrical edition, or Rebuild. Yes, this is going to be my first Evangelion video in which I am making a brief character study that includes both editions. Ramiel's first appearance is at the very end of episode 5 titled Rei Beyond the Heart. This episode takes place just after Shinji defeated Samshel, and is basically a Rei episode, in which we are taking into a flashback to the days before Shinji's arrival to Tokyo 3. Thus making this flashback a prequel to the beginning of the story. In it, we can witness how EVA 0 went berserk and attacked Nerv personnel, who ejected Rei's entry block violently, in a desperate move to save her life. Rei survived, but Gendo's glasses did not. Thus now we also have an origin story for Gendo's iconic tinted glasses. On the final sequence of the episode, Rei managed to successfully synchronize with her EVA unit for the first time. But before the test ended, Ramiel suddenly appeared floating on the outskirts of the city, forcing to finish the test and putting Nerv's personnel on maximum alert. This angel is the first one to have a unique appearance, as it doesn't resemble a living organism, but more like a geometrical figure. More specifically, an octahedron, which means that has 8 sides. Ramiel's shape is inspired by other sources, mainly by 1983's future policeman Urashin, and also in a crystal from the early 90s Nadia The Secret of Blue Water, which was Anno's previous work to Evangelion, but also on 1968 Stanley Kubrick's 2001 A Space Odyssey. The original design also included an extra layer of screens, which were eliminated on the development process, probably to make easier to animate due to the technology limitations of the time. Ramiel, like other angels, has an internal S2 engine, or core. In the TV show, this one is never shown, but is assumed by Nerv that exists within the body. In Rebuild, the shape-shifting capabilities of the angel allow us to see how this is a fact. This angel is able to shoot a very powerful particle beam that, according to Nerv's computers, comes from internal torus reactor. Torus is the geometrical shape that a tokamak has and is used to confine plasma using a magnetic field on a fusion reactor. Thus, Ramiel, the Thunder of God, literally shoots very powerful lightning to its targets. Ramiel's beam is so powerful that it's able to cut through buildings and still destroy the armor of an Evangelion Unit 1, which in theory is the most secure place in the world. Not even a nuclear attack is able to destroy it. In Rebuild, this same beam can destroy even mountains, and we can also observe how on the monitors of Nerv we have a representation on how Ramiel's structure looks from the inside, similar to the late 1500s Johannes Kepler Platonic solid model of the solar system, which is basically every single Platonic solid in three-dimensional space: octahedron, tetrahedron, cube, dodecahedron, and icosahedron. So yes, you can say Ramiel is geometry incarnated. Furthermore, it doesn't seem that in either version Ramiel needs a lot of time to recharge or reload its powerful weapon. Its AT field is also one of the most powerful ones in the story, as it is needed from all of the energy from Japan, which is the equivalent of 180 million kilowatts, to go through it. But even if this direct attack can penetrate Ramiel's AT field, it is not enough to destroy it, as the shot has to be aimed precisely to its vulnerable spot to be able to reach the core and defeat the very powerful enemy. The AT field is not the only defensive mechanism that the angel seems to possess, as it clearly can perceive danger without being directly attacked. This ability allows it to take preventive strikes against anything that can present an imminent danger. This angel also has the ability to form a drill, able to penetrate the 22 armor plates that separates the surface from the Geofront. Ramiel is the first of a handful of angels to actually reach the Geofront. Its ability to drill doesn't stop during an attack, therefore it is possible to calculate exactly the time period in which the angel will be able to destroy every single defense before reaching the headquarters. Misato describes Ramiel as a flying fortress. Episode 6 is titled Decisive Battle in Tokyo 3, in which Misato devised a plan to destroy the mighty angel and put an end to the threat. The name of the plan? Operation Yashima. March 22, 1185. During the Genpei War, the Minamoto clan started an assault to the then Taira-controlled city of Yashima. That night, due to the poor weather conditions, several of Minamoto's men refused to embark over the turbulent waters. Only a few brave souls decided to go with him. Minamoto then set bonfires across the shore to leave the impression that a massive naval campaign was ongoing. The Taira decided to abandon the city, taking with them the emperor, without noticing that they were fooled by Minamoto's decoys. A battle started over the canal between the clans, and then the leader of the Taira realized that Minamoto's men were not as big as they thought, but a retreat back to the city of Yashima was no longer possible as it was set on fire. Then Taira, in an attempt to make the enemy to waste arrows, challenged Minamoto's men to hit a fan that was lifted by a maid on one of the boat's masts. Minamoto chose a young archer by the name of Nasuno Yoshi, who rode his horse to the turbulent waters to take a shot to the fan on the bubbling boat. If he failed, he would commit harakiri, and was then when the young unproven warrior was able to make the impossible shot, hitting the fan and thus turning into a legend. Misato is aware of this historical battle, and given the similarities, decided to name her operation after the epic Battle of Yashima. Ramiel is way too dangerous for hand-to-hand combat, and due to its ability to sense imminent danger and display a quick defensive attack, a long-distance plan is the safest way to proceed. A difficult shot that should be done by a young, unproven warrior. Thus, she proceeds to borrow an experimental rifle that was being developed by the JSSDF, capable to sustain and shoot a projectile powerful enough to penetrate Ramiel's powerful AT field and reach its core. The weapon also needs energy, and the only way to find that amount was taking it from all of Japan. During this operation, it's the first time in the story that two Evangelion units are activated at the same time. Rei will provide defense with an electromagnetic shield, which resembles the bottom part of a spaceship, or a space shuttle, just in case Shinji needs it. At midnight, Operation Yashima started, and Shinji takes the first shot, not before Ramiel's defensive capability activated, and also take a shot in Shinji's direction. Both shots cross and change the trajectory, missing by a few yards. Ramiel continues his incursion towards the Geofront. Shinji reloads, but before he can take the shot, the angel do it for a second time. Rei uses the shield to take the damage, while Shinji makes the definitive fatal blow to the powerful enemy. After Ramiel's defeat, the Nerv personnel took several days to take the remains from the city, but we are shown how red spots are all over it, which confirms that the angel was a living organism. On Rebuild, this sequence is more dramatic. The Sixth Angel is being distracted by multiple attacks, while Shinji makes himself ready. By defending itself, the angel changes into multiple forms, leaving its core unprotected in the process. Shinji takes the shot, and although it seems that he hits it, in reality he barely misses it. The angel counterattack vaporizes part of the mountain and barely misses Evangelion Unit 1, but not without damage. In contrast to the original story, here Gendo Ikari seems more in control of the operation, as after witnessing his son's failure, orders Rei to take the next shot. Misato refuses and asks him to trust his son. Shinji then recomposes and reloads, but before being able to take the second shot, the angel attacks again, this time to be intercepted by Rei, who gives Shinji enough time to aim and shoot. Bullseye. The Sixth Angel expands, and as a glass that just been shattered, and after a dramatic scream, its core explodes, turning its whole body into red liquid. Ramiel attack and Operation Yashima are one of the most notable events that happen throughout the story, as it served to show the audience that even though humanity seems to be ready to defend itself against the angel threat, the enemy can appear with different weapons and hostility levels. Also, on how much of a military strategist Misato Katsuragi is, as she was able to devise a plan to protect the city and defeat the enemy. Finally, the event was crucial on the development of Rei and Shinji's relationship, as in both editions, Shinji's main concern after the battle is Rei's well-being. And that, my friends, is Ramiel's story. So, what do you think? You always consider Ramiel to be one of your favorite angels? What would you think it would have happened if Ramiel would have drilled the Geofront in its entirety? Let me know in the comment section down below. Remember to like the video if you did, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, join the Discord. The link is in the description section down below. Guys, thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I wish you all a wonderful day.